Hey, y'all. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you may be seeing this. I wanted to share a quick revelation. I hope I can compact it into a 3-minute message. So, Psalm 110 and 1 says, "Sit at my right hand." This is the Lord speaking, "and I will make your enemies your footstool." Now, we got to remember that the Bible is very intentional, right? A footstool goes under your feet. Romans 16 and 20. "The God of peace will soon crush Satan under your feet." Luke 10 and 19 says, "Behold, I have given you authority to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall hurt you." But a footstool also boosts you up, and brings you up to a higher level. So Romans 5 and 3 through 5 says, "Not only that, but we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope." Verse 5, "And hope does not put us to shame, because God's love has been poured into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who has been given to us." So what does all of that mean? Well, the revelation that the Lord gave me started with, he will make your enemies your footstool. But a footstool is not just something that goes beneath your feet. You can crush it, absolutely. But it also boosts you up and brings you up to a higher level. What does that higher level look like? That higher level looks like Jesus Christ praying for the same people who were trying to crucify him and thought that they had the power to crucify him, who nailed him to a cross, the cat of nine, all of the things. Jesus was thirsty. They gave him vinegar. They mocked him for being a king, and put a crown of thorns on his head and beat it down into his head. It was too small. They took like a bat, we would call it in our times, and beat it down into his head. And he still prayed for these people, prayed for God to forgive the same people who had done these things to him. God will make your enemies your footstool, but you have to be willing and ready to level up. So in Luke 10 and 19, the Lord tells us that he has given us he has given us authority to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy. The emphasis on the power of the enemy, the power to have you distracted, the power to have you arguing with people, the power to get you upset. God has given you authority over these things. Stop arguing with people. Stop allowing people to steal your joy. Stop allowing people to change your mind, and stand 10 toes on what God has given you. And that is authority. And that Romans 5 and 3 through 5, God has given you endurance and character. Stand 10 toes.